Are you still looking for an RV bunk ladder solution? Well, West Family RV Adventures got you covered. We're going to show you how to get it done on the cheap. So stick around, I'll show you how it's done. Alright, so we're going to build an RV bunk ladder. Here we are in the Lowe's parking lot, and let's just take a quick look at our inventory. I've got 3 10-foot lengths of 1 1/4 inch PVC. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 1 1/4 inch end caps, and I have 5 1 1/4 inch tees. Grand total $39. So I'm going to take this home, take it down to my shop, cut it on up to the proper lengths. We'll put this thing together, and I'll let my 15-year-old who sleeps on the top bunk give it a try. Alright folks, well I've been dry fitting the ladder inside the Wolf Pup RV, and I'm going to take you in a minute and show you what I come up with. But as you can see, I already overestimated the amount of PVC I needed. So I've got 2 vertical lengths, two each, extra, and one rung extra, and I'll take you inside and show you what I mean. So of course everything will be different according to what RV you have. This is a Wolf Pup 17JG, so if there's any of you watching this that have the same or similar model, then this might work for you. So what I ended up with, 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontal step rungs. Those are 14 inches a piece that I cut them. And then I have 6 inches on the bottom, 2 6 inches, and 2 6 inches on the top, and you can see that I have caps. And I think this solution is going to be good, because once you get to the top of the ladder, when the person on the top bunk jumps in, they don't need a lot of ladder sticking up, because they need to be able to climb in without their belly hitting it. So I think if I just have it terminating something like this, should help my daughter get up there, and should minimize on the space. So the great thing is this is really light, and that's awesome. I can throw it in the back of the truck, probably throw it underneath the queen bed in the storage in the front of the RV. One little concern I have is that it's not really rugged, so that's going to be interesting. I haven't glued it up yet, but I had a thought. I thought, you know what if I fill the cavity with minimal expansion spray foam, just before I glue it up, just as I glue it, just fill the cavities to try to reinforce it. So I'm going to give that a try, and I'll update you shortly. Alright, so I'm back from Lowe's. I've got my PVC cement. Sun's starting to go down slowly, so racing the clock here. I think what I'm going to do is disassemble this, and then I'll take my spray foam and I'll fill up all my tubes and let those dry first. And then as it squirts out the end after it dries up, hopefully it'll dry quickly, I'll just cut off the excess with a serrated knife. And I know from using this stuff, if any of you people use this stuff, you want to always make sure you wear gloves. This is one of the rare times where I'm going to be smart enough to put gloves on, because if you don't, it's stuck on your hands until it wears off, or you take sandpaper and sand it off. It is brutal. So if I can show you what I'm doing with the spray foam, I'm sticking my wand about halfway in and filling the cavity that way. Then I'm flipping it over, sticking the wand back in. I think I need a GoPro. Anyway, so hopefully that's going to make sure that I get it filled on both ends, hopefully in the middle and all the way through. I thought I'd come back in and take a measurement for you folks. You can see that to the top of the top bunk mattress, it's about 56 inches, or to this side rail, 54 inches. So 54 or 56 to the top of the mattress for the bunk. So I don't know what your RV has, but when I give you the measurements for the PVC to put this thing together, that should give you an idea of what you might need to be looking at if you're interested in doing something similar. Alright, so let's do a final inventory again, so you can put your shopping list together. So if you have 54 inches straight up from the bottom of the floor with no angle, just straight up in your RV to the top of the bunk mattress. What I ended up with are 4 horizontal rungs, and I cut those at 14 inches each. And then I have 6 vertical rungs at 12 inches each. Those are obviously 3 of those on each side of the ladder, left and right side. And also at the bottom of the ladder, 2 6-inchers. At the top of the ladder, 2 6-inchers. And then I'm only going to need to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these T's, or maybe there's more. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 T's. You're going to need 8 T's, and you'll need 4 caps, end caps. So that is the listing of the PVC. That's the inventory list. And I decided, because I was concerned that when I dry fitted it, that it wasn't really as stable as I wanted it to be, I decided to fill it full of spray foam insulation. I am hoping that's going to stiffen it up quite a bit. So we'll see what happens. So I'll let this spray foam dry a little bit more, then I'll cut off the edges with a serrated knife. I'll piece everything back together and cement it up. So you can see as it expands, that's why they call it spray foam expanding insulation. As it expands, it shoots out the pipe, and then I just knock the ends off. So I'm gluing up these horizontal rungs first, because I want to make sure, probably should have a flatter table, but I want to make sure that these are at the same angle. If not, I'm going to be in a world of hurt trying to get that ladder put together. So hopefully these will all be parallel and proper. So we'll know more about it later. So we got the 4 horizontal pieces glued. Now we'll go with the vertical. Okay, you can see it's getting dark, and boy does it look ugly. But it's all glued up, and I didn't use clear primer or clear PVC cement, but that's okay because I had planned on adding one more thing to my shopping cart, and that's spray paint. So I do have some spray paint. I'm just going to go ahead and try to clean up the rough spots of the glue and whatnot on the outside, and then we'll head to the paint factory, wherever that may be. So we're coming along. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to turn an ugly duckling into a beautiful swan. All right, folks, so our ugly duckling, white PVC that had purple primer and blue PVC cement all over it, has been covered up with one coat of dark copper metallic spray paint, and hopefully that'll match the decor inside the wolf pup. And I'll let that dry tonight. Tomorrow morning, put another coat on it, and then we're off for a week of RVing tomorrow afternoon. So we'll take the ladder, we'll travel. And there you have it, homemade RV bunk ladder, made out of 1 1/4 inch PVC piping. All the PVC came to $39, and as it turns out, I bought too much, so you can probably do it for probably around $32, and then add a $6 can of spray paint on top of that, a little bit of spray foam insulation inside the pipes to give it durability and strength, and this might just work for you as well. Our 15-year-old daughter sleeps on the top bunk, and the last 3 trips we've been on, she said, "I'm tired of doing pull-ups to get into the top bunk. Can you do something for me?" So we were shopping online, and everything seemed to be on back order or overpriced for collapsible ladders. And I happened to think, I know how to do this. And it's really light. I think this probably weighs about 8 pounds. So it'll be easy to take it in and out of the RV when they're not using it during the day. Probably move it out of the way, or just put it outside somewhere. So there you go.